I'm Stan DeFreitas, Mr. Greenthumb, and you are?
And I'm James DeFreitas, and here every week we talk about gardening and or real estate. And I do want to mention before we get back to Kelly Stafford that we do have a silent auction that's going off, and it's located at 1900 59th Avenue North, Unit 216 in St. Petersburg, Florida. Now, it is a 55 and up community, but it is a fantastic place. It's got shuffleboard. Did I mention it has shuffleboard?
It has a pool.
And it has a pool.
Library.
So, yes, it has a lot of amenities. People that are coming here to retire are looking for affordable living. Then 1900 59th Avenue North, Unit 216 in St. Pete could be the ticket for you. And, of course, if you want to know more, you can go to our website at FloridaAuctionTeam.com. That's spelled all out, FloridaAuctionTeam.com. You can register to bid, and it's just like you would think in a regular auction. A silent auction allows you to place a bid. You don't have to be there, and you can do it all online. It's an amazing thing.
We are running it for Keller Williams, and we're out of the Palm Harbor office. And a great team. We're working with Bobby there, and, well, everybody there has just been fantastic to us. So we enjoy our new home there. And, they say what they mean, and they do what they say, and they know that signed contracts mean something.
And our forever home.
Our forever home, yes, exactly. So we've enjoyed the folks there as well. And we want to go back, of course, to Kelly Stafford, who is in charge of Stafford Tree Service.
Yeah, and actually, I have a quick question for Kelly. One of the thoughts that I have, and I want to go back to something you said earlier in a previous segment that we did, and it's the amount of work that you do for homeowners associations or condo associations. And one of the thoughts that I had for you is, because Stan mentioned earlier about the guy that goes to Home Depot, rents a chainsaw, and goes into the business overnight, and that's all fine. I'm not against people becoming, entrepreneurs, but when you go and you try to place a bid to bid on some work that's at an HOA or a condo association, they're going to hit a roadblock. And what would those roadblocks be?
Definitely the liability insurance and mainly the workman's comp. I think there's a lot of guys out there that don't carry that, and they pay their guys cash, and with management companies, obviously they have those certificates being renewed every year, but you wouldn't believe the number of homeowners that don't even ask me for either of those.
I believe it.
It's surprising, but I mean, most people just assume that it's regulated and that they have to carry it.
Well, you have an honest face too. I'm not sure I would ask you.
Right.
And you sound happy and friendly too, so that's half the battle. But I think people want to know that they're dealing with a reputable company, and you're licensed and insured, as you should be.
Yes.
And that makes a difference. And also, just like when in our business, I'm a certified pest control operator, so I can spray trees. There have been companies out there before who've sprayed that are, in the industry, in the tree business, but they're not certified pest control operators, and what they're doing is illegal.
Right.
They can't go advertise to spray. And I've known some companies that were shut down. Some of them were fined a couple $1,000s. And then they call me up and say, you can have all the injection and spray work because we don't want to have the liability. And the only thing I'm always worried about, even when we put injectors in trees, I make sure they don't have little children, or do you have dogs that like to chew on stuff? Mm-hmm. And I'd be worried about James because he has a dog that loves to chew on anything and everything.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I was going to chew on it.
Well, you might too, but your dog, Hannah, he has the cutest little dog, and of course, Cappy is too. But I'm always worried.
Yeah, the one dog I have has some brain power. The other dog is exceedingly cute, and I think there could be two brain cells, and they may be at war. I mean, she's definitely challenged in that area, but she's exceedingly cute, and she just loves to chew things she shouldn't get into doing. So, yeah, that's a good point to make. I mean, if we're out there and we're doing tree injections, now we do seem to do a lot of, we like to alternate when we're doing a tree injection job where we'll use one capsule that's a pesticide and one that's a nutrient. The nutrient one probably would taste bitter. They probably both would taste bitter, so I don't know how much a dog would like that. But needless to say, why even go down that road of having a problem with a pet? Because it's going to leave a bad taste in your mouth, literally, for your dog and for the client, and we don't want that. So,
I mean, the old days I would spray with Lindane, which killed the borers quite well, but it was benzene hexachloride, and it was toxic. And I mean, I'd wear a respirator, and I'd wear gloves, and I looked like a spaceman. And I'm so glad now I can inject and put pesticide directly into the tree. I can take it out in a week, the little capsule, and I don't have to worry about what I spray up comes down. And we all live in the same planet, so I don't want to see other people have anything, carcinogens and stuff. There's enough out there as there is. So I feel if I can use the safest products I can use, I feel better about it. And injecting trees the same way. If I can inject a palm with oxytetracycline, we're using basically the antibiotic that used to be used on people. We're using it in palms, especially for the lethal yellowing or the bronzing, as it's sometimes now called, or Texas Phoenix decline. We can keep those palms alive. And unfortunately, it seems to be the $10,000 palm that gets infected the most. If it were a cheap queen palm or even a cabbage, you can go, well, I can replace it.
Right.
But, the idea of a big old canary, Phoenix canariensis, or the true dactylifera, true date palm, they're expensive, and you need to make sure. In fact, I go down all the time. I'm looking at things. Well, the city has put in all those. That one's going to die. That one's ready to die. And I'm thinking, I almost think I should go out and just start putting cards, near the tree. But I thought, well, I'm not trying to be that pushy. But speaking of that, we need to get down for the city of South Pasadena.
That's right. Pasadena is
it
on
just
the
clicked
list.
in my brain. We need to get down there and see Xavier pretty soon because he's having some problems. And I always tell people, I don't guarantee you don't have problems. I just tell you I react to them. And the same thing in your business. Trees are going to have some dead wood. They're going to have some problems. And they should call you early before it comes into the living room window, and that's what people often do. Go, well, and you see it all the time. Hurricane comes through. Now, this last little thing we had was nothing. But what if we have a Cat 4 come through?
Yeah. That's a big problem. I don't think people in this area are actually prepared. They think they are, but at the end of the day, most of the building construction here isn't really rated for any of those kinds of winds. And maybe some of the schools will do okay, because they are overbuilt. But I think we have a lot of mobile home communities. Those I think would be in severe trouble. And it just makes so much sense not to add to that chaos by being proactive, making sure that you call up Kelly. And remember, they are a family company. This is not a company that has 300 trucks. They have great equipment, great crew. But at the end of the day, you are helping a local business. And so one of the things that I cannot stress enough is, the Amazons of the world will always be there. But again, what makes this country really a wonderful place is that we have lots of small to medium-sized companies that are out there pushing the ball forward and making a difference in their community. And Stafford Tree Service is certainly doing that. So, and again, how do people get a hold of you so that they can be proactive in their yard and in their buildings and stuff?
Yeah, so they can give me a call, and I'm always the one answering, so you'll talk to me. And so our number is 727-546-8786. They can find us online, and they can shoot us an email or just give us a call if you're more comfortable.
Sure.
What's that phone number again?
It's 727-546-8786.
Okay, and you're going to get Kelly, which every time I've called, I always get Kelly. And
that's a beautiful thing. And it's
always
not
me.
And it's not a 1-800 number, and it's not press 3, dial 2, hold for the next operator, and then you're passed off to India. Love India. Don't think I'm saying anything bad about India. But at the end of the day, if you have to talk to a customer service person and you can't fully understand them, that's frustrating. And you're never going to get that when you call Stafford Tree Service. You're going to get Kelly, which is amazing.
Personalized service.
I know. It's so rare.
It is these days. And you get people who show up and do what they say. And we've had people report back to me after one of your jobs. The guys did a great job. They cleaned up everything nicely. And a lot of times, the fly-by-night tree guys don't, make sure it looks nice at the end. And that's half the battle when you get through, that people go, oh, gosh, Stafford did a wonderful job. It looks nice. It looks professional. They knew what they were doing. You can tell that they trimmed it correctly. And you don't leave a lot of stubs. We might tell folks, you cut back to a logical spot. You leave a little shoulder on the wound. Let's say it's off the main trunk. You don't leave a foot and a half, which I see a lot of homeowners do. And then, of course, it rots back. The bugs come in.
And then they're calling you.
Then I have to try to inject the tree, because the borers are in there. And I said, well, those are larval stages of beetles. John, Paul, Ringo, and the boys, without we can't make rock and roll like we used to. No, not those beetles. We're talking about beetles that get in there and attack the trunk and kill the tree. And, yes, Stafford can come out and take your tree down, and you probably should at that point. But if we can save that tree, you can have it for a long time. And remember, that tree's giving off oxygen.
Right.
Yeah, it takes in a little oxygen too, but it's giving, taking that carbon dioxide, and with the miracle of sunlight, it's producing food. So it's a great thing, and it's taking carbon out. So
Right.
if you're into trying to be, save the environment, I personally think the best thing a politician could do would say, hey, we're going to plant another 1 billion trees in this country because it's going to help cool the world. And, they're all worried, we're worried about our styrofoam. I'm not so worried about, pick that up. Take your trash home with you, folks, when you go to the beach. That's just being a good citizen of the world. But doing something like planting 1 billion trees, and I don't hear any of these politicians do it because I figure they don't know how they're going to make money on the side.
Right.
And I say that for both Republicans and Democrats. We can figure out how to line our pockets.
Follow the money.
But I really think if I'm running for office, that's what I'm gonna run and go, well, wouldn't be there. I can, or Ronald Reagan might go, well, I was talking to Nancy just the other day, and I've decided to go back and be president because, well, I'd make better one than we might have. Anyway, I can go all my imitations, throw them all in there, make this a 1995 show. But we are going to tell folks, Kelly, give your number again.
Okay, so they can reach us at 727-546-8786.
Or if they want to get to you through the email.
Through the email, well, they can go to our website, which is staffordtreesvc.com, or they can reach us on our email, which is staffordtreeservice@frontier.com.
And that is great. We thank you for being with us. You gave us a bunch of information. That's just wonderful.